Hello, and it's a time of new beginnings. We've got new moon in Aquarius. Actually, today, on the day that I'm uploading this video, it's going to be happening. This is January the 21st, 2023, by the way, and it's going to be happening 3:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can kind of adjust for wherever you are in the world according to that. Now, this is really the biggest astrological event of this week. In a lot of ways, it's the biggest astrological event of the month. We have actually had Mercury retrograde end and we've had Mars retrograde end. But this is a new beginning, and in that sense, it's so much more important than saying goodbye to these retrograde cycles, which quite frankly now are old news. And that's great, really, because we need to be looking to the future. Now, this new moon in Aquarius is actually in conjunction with Pluto. And Pluto is actually in Capricorn. So there's some of that kind of go-to hanging on energy. Just really, it's going to make it difficult to let go in lots of ways. But what you need to really be focusing on at the moment is actually looking forward, because this is a fantastic day. Passion, confidence, enthusiasm, all of those things are really strongly kind of supported. Actually not a bad day for romantic things, although to be quite honest, I would have said that was last Wednesday. But hey, these opportunities are always coming up, so maybe that's no bad thing. So the new moon in Aquarius, it's the beginning of a new cycle. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends and the Aquarius new moon cycle starts. And Aquarius is a wonderful sign for people coming together. It's about friendship, it's about brotherhood, and I guess you could say sisterhood as well, or brother and sisterhood. Really whatever's going on in your life where you're involved with other people, this is very, very good for it. It's good for working together as well as socializing together. If you've got a project that you want to come together and do as a group, it's great for that. It's great for anything social as well, actually just working together to have a good time. And goodness knows that's not a bad thing to do in this crazy world with everything the way it is at the moment. So it's really, good for new beginnings, pretty much of any kind, but particularly where it's about making a fresh start with people. And it's very often worth just writing off the past, because the past is always old news. That's how it goes, It's come, it's gone. Now newness is coming in, so there's no point in hanging on to the old ways. Not at all. But this is really going to be about thinking outside the box, actually really being expansive in your thoughts, because Aquarius is a constellation that is very, very good for doing that. And Aquarius people are actually extremely good, exceptionally good at just seeing it, maybe not seeing the future, because none of us really knows what the future holds, but for looking into the future, that's what really kind of matters here, and this is a great time for it. But look into the future, it's important to have, a brand new vision. And if you can't think of what the brand new vision is right now, that doesn't really matter, because in the coming hours, actually, around the time this video is going to be going out, but any time there's an Aquarius new moon, it leads into this kind of period of future. You could almost say vision questing, I suppose. That'd be one way to put it. But just looking at the future in a new way and trying to be hopeful about it, rather than trying to guess kind of the outcome. Because the path of life that we all walk on and the things that we all go through as we're traveling through our crazy lives, they're just kind of, they fall into a pattern of their own. You must have noticed that in your own life. I know I have. Things just fall into their own pattern, really. So the more hopeful we are, the more likely we are to actually attract better things to us. And that's a very spiritual thing to say. And my friends, if any of you are watching this and you're not really kind of all that spiritually minded, absolutely fine. This is about your higher self as much as anything, and we really do all have one of those. The subconscious mind actually is quite easily led by the conscious mind when it comes down to it. Just think about the dreams you've had. That's just the way it goes. It really is. So this is time to give your emotions, your passions, give them a new chance, give them a break, really, because you are under the Aquarius new moon influence over at least, if not today, over the next few days. Most definitely are going to be developing some kind of objectivity. You're going to be starting to see what you want to do, where you want to go, and you're also going to get the opportunity to see where life is taking you with this new influence as well, because well, the path of life is what it is, but it does take many twists and turns, and this is going to be a very positive twist or a very positive turn, or maybe both of them, depending which way you look at it. It's about learning, really. Learning maybe about how things work, maybe about how people work, what makes people tick, people in your life, people you care about, what makes them tick. It's, and this plays into the whole thing of brotherhood, sisterhood, people working together, people socializing together that we were talking about. Basically, you're going to learn about yourself as well, and it's really important for that reason to take a new approach and to let yourself be revitalized. This cycle is all about reaching out to people in our own social circles and in the wider community. It's a great time for community, and we do often lose sight of community. Although in these hard times, and it's a shame it has to come through hard times, but in hard times communities do come together and work together. So that is very much worth thinking about. At the same time, you're going to understand a bit more about the me time that you need for yourself personally, the you time, I guess that is really. How you need to kind of detach yourself at times, maybe distance yourself at times from either things that are going on or people that are hanging around you. We all need a break, it's a healthy thing, it really is. So that's worth thinking about as well. But the Aquarius energy is very potent, and it brings the chance to actually make some changes in our lives. That's the great thing about it, really, the potential for change and the new possibilities that are coming towards us. Some people are in circumstances that, you're just going to need to pay much more attention to things like that. Because it's inescapable. I mean, there's definitely no getting away from it at this time with all this new moon energy in the air. But at the same time, there's no escaping it anyway. These are all things we need to face up to and work through and, get used to working with people and understand when we want to work on our own as well. Because we've all got our own inspiration, and we all bring that as a wonderful new thing into the world. Now, this new moon actually does harmonise with Jupiter, and it separates from a conjunction with Pluto as well. So it's time to really kind of, it's like doing your life up, like painting a room or something. Paint the room of your life a new happy colour that means something to you. It's got home improvements for the soul would be a very good way of looking at this. Now, the actual phase of the moon, it's happening at 1 degree and 33 minutes of Aquarius. The moon will just have entered Aquarius when this happens. There's the new moon. It's a feeling that goes on for maybe a day or two before, because the moon wanes and wanes and wanes. And in the middle of the moon cycle, when she's kind of half full, she is either, if she's waxing and growing, she's getting quite a lot bigger, maybe 10% bigger in a day, or if she's on the wane and coming down, she's shrinking like 10% in a day. But when you get much closer to the full moon or the new moon, that slows down, really. It's the transit is like the shape of an apple, it kind of comes out very slowly, so for days and days it's still close to the center, and then whoa, it comes round like that and then comes up again. A figure of 8 even, you could think of it in terms of eternity. A figure of 8 is definitely one good way of looking at that. So by the time we're on a full moon or a new moon, as we're coming up to the day I'm making this video, the moon is actually making very, very slow progress. And at a new moon, that really goes well with it, because it's a time when everything in nature comes to a lull, whether that's human nature or, nature out in the streets looking at the trees, or maybe in a garden, something like that. All the energy is coming to a lull, and it's a wonderful thing really, because it just gives you time to contemplate, it gives you time to think. And it just, that way, you're bound to end up working things out. You've barely got to try, really, because that's the nature of the energy. So for the next couple of days, the energy is going to be very similar to the way it's been for the last couple of days, except that we've got this new future focus. We're now looking ahead and we're looking at things moving in a new direction and moving in a new and exciting way. So friends, I hope that's been some help to you. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I wish you every blessing with what goes on in the next I was going to say in the next few days, but actually, you see, when we get a new moon, that energy is at least part of the picture right the way through until the next new moon. Of course, I was talking about this ending the Capricorn new moon cycle as we come into the Aquarius new moon cycle. And some say yes, but when we get to the full moon, everything changes. A lot of things do change. Most definitely, you could even say in astrology terms, everything changes when you get to the full moon, because that's the opposite. That's when everything is brimming over with energy and it's all happening. But something that will actually affect the full moon is the new moon. So I would look at this energy as going on for a month or so. But certainly in the next few days, under the influence of this new moon, take the time to look forward, take the time to look ahead, because life, the universe and everything is going to be showing you a whole pile of stuff. And if you take a positive attitude to it and think, where's this taking me in the future? And just be willing to go with the flow, that old expression, go with the flow, you're going to be amazed at where the flow takes you. Listen to your subconscious mind as well. That's no bad thing to do. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Do hit the subscribe button. There are more videos coming all the time. Some psychic stuff goes on this channel. In fact, it's mostly that kind of thing going on this channel as well. But we do have these astrology updates because it all affects the whole thing, really. So hit subscribe. More videos coming all the time. We'll be looking at space weather and all kinds of things as well. That is to say, astro weather, sunspots, all of that. Leave me a comment, guys. It'd be great to know what your take on this new moon is. Maybe even, in the next few days when you see how it's affecting you, it would be a good time to drop a comment on it. Please drop a like on it too, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.